the first to know Nsem-Pii TV.
Lawyer Paul Admochiri. Se say the Jakpa tatar. Na ne de wakan se minyina. Richard Jakpa yegyina nim say national security odimutinti man na eno ene wakọ ransake the house of Mr. Addison. That's the Bank of Ghana governor, former one. The targets the entire okoyem oko as a searcher. I don't know how now targeting the CCTV camera or shall say I destroyed it because or say evidence truly or evidence will be here. First point, as almost CCTV camera no oh na no a capture what show near Marian debut was say near man. No you was had the list of those targeted for the raid. I think for Gabi Ochidakon Lawyer Paul Admochiri on one castle program all year, not all churches him a devil. And then they were cunning and a Jakpa messages our send your man and the plan of fun who say Obeba Friday and a Joe by Saturday when your fan of Cordiana is and one a devil and ne better was NDC, the National Democratic Congress. A true trust them akakabensem Jakpa ye unity. Yonko ninguti nsem emra nane just a midjiri ninguti emra.
Addison here, his home had been raided by national security, and it was led by Richard Jakpa, who was worried about CCTV cameras, because when he went to Kenoforiata's house, it was a CCTV camera that exposed him holding a pistol and cocking a gun to go in there. It beats my imagination, viewers. This is not NDC or MPP. It beats my imagination. We are running a state. Here is Captain Jakpa, young officer, who was taught by the Ghana Armed Forces that he is not fit to remain in the Ghana Armed Forces. This happened when John Dramani Mahama was commander-in-chief. President Mahama was the president of the day. And the armed forces, led by Brigadier General Ahiaglo, may he rest in peace, penciled a document that this Richard Jakpa is not fit to remain in the Ghana Armed Forces. John Mahama was president. It wasn't as if it was a political witch hunt. It wasn't MPP. It was NDC. Richard Jakpa has already told reporters that he's a member of the NDC. There's no problem with that. So it was during the NDC, the party that he has publicly said he's a member of, it was during then that the military, the Ghana Armed Forces, the professional state institution decided that he cannot be a member of the armed forces. He goes away. Then comes in President Mahama on the second coming with a landslide victory and decides that the person that the armed forces said he's not fit and proper to be should become a national security director responsible for special operations. What are you going to get? These are the conversations that we should be having. This is not MPP or NDC. This has nothing to do with MPP or NDC. This is the military, assuming the police, deciding that this person is not fit to be a police officer. And then the regime comes and the president says, the person you said is not fit to be a police officer, he's the one that I want him to do special operations in the police. But that's the decision of the president. He has the power to do so. But it's a decision that should unnerve a lot of security and intelligence thinkers. That what is going on here? I have not heard anybody talk about it. I have not heard Adam Bona talk about it. I have not heard Christiani talk about it. I have not heard any of the security civil societies talk about it. This is a very important matter. If you read the document about why the military said Jakpa should not be there, you would understand my concern. But power is power. So let's leave it. Richard Jakpa leads an onslaught on Dr. Addison's home. And he goes to Dr. Addison's home and he first destroys Dr. Addison's property. He destroys it by going in to take out security cameras so that they don't see what he is doing. Now, if you are sent by national security and you have a warrant of arrest, why are you destroying CCTV cameras? So that's the intelligent question that Afenyo Makin was asking in the press conference we just showed you. Why are you destroying evidence? Because you know that what you are doing there is unlawful. And I heard the Deputy Attorney General say something. I won't talk about him today. I'll leave it. That a lawyer can say that a raid on the former governor's house, including the destruction of CCTV cameras, was lawful. That's what a lawyer said. A lawyer, barrister at law, solicitor of the Supreme Court of Ghana, a lecturer in law. This is what he said. He said that Jakpa went to the house and destroyed CCTV cameras, and that was lawful. That's what the Attorney General said. That's what he said. The Deputy Attorney General, he said this was lawful. I'll come to Shamima Muslim in a minute, but let's move on. So that has happened. They didn't find anything in Dr. Addison's house. After they left Dr. Addison's house, where is the National Security Coordinator? Do you have that yet? Yes. After they left Dr. Addison's house, this noble man, very, very noble man, he called Dr. Addison and said, Chief, I've heard so and so and so, blah, 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 blah. The cars that were taken have been parked here. If you can send somebody to go for it, and blah, 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 blah. Very, very decent man. Very, very, very decent man. What is happening with... So do we always have to rely on decent people? Can't we rely on the laws of Ghana? Do we always have to hope that there's some decent man in there? This is the guy that Dampari didn't want. This is the guy, very decent man. He's the guy that Dampari didn't want. He didn't promote him. He left him. But for his intervention last night, it would have been bizarre. And he was bold enough to call Dr. Addison and say, my name is so and so. I'm the National Security Coordinator. I have been apprised of this situation. Do this, do that, do that, do that, and let's work together. He is not cancelling any investigation on Dr. Addison. Dr. Addison doesn't want any investigation to be cancelled. He has nothing to hide. He can answer every question. Haven't we had Dr. Addison was at the Bank of Ghana when Agama was the governor. He was there. Dr. Addison was there when Kobna Dufo was the governor. He was there. Dr. Addison was there when Paul Akwa became the governor. He was there. The source of Togbe Afede's fight over inflation was a fight with Dr. Addison. I was the referee in the middle, so I remember it. From Golden Tulip to Good Evening Ghana, that was Togbe Afede's fight with Dr. Addison. Addison has been at this Bank of Ghana forever and ever. And then he was director of research for a long time. And then he became governor under Akufo-Addo. He had gone abroad to serve on other places still connected to the Bank of Ghana. That is the kind of person you are talking about. He is not an NPP person coming to NPP rally. And his brother is Philip Addison, who is a die-in-the-wool NPP lawyer. That's Philip, his brother. He is just Dr. Addison. He's doing his work at the Bank of Ghana. If we didn't have a reasonable man like this at the National Security yesterday, what would have happened? So National Security come to your house and they come in. Jakpa says, where is the CCTV? Where is it? Let me destroy. That's Ghana's National Security. Who foisted this on us? Who foisted this on us? Look at this. Look at, they've destroyed the property of Dr. Addison, and they think that the courts will keep quiet, that the high courts will not have a say on this matter. The high courts will definitely have a say on this matter. Look at it. Look at what they've done. If you go to somebody's house to go and search him and collect stolen wealth, why are you destroying? In fact, you should keep the CCTV camera there so that when you see the stolen wealth, you can show it to the camera that look at the wealth that we have stolen. Look at what he has stolen from here. We are giving it back to Ghana. He's a thief. But because you know that what you are going to do is illegal, is immoral, and it's a personal vendetta, nothing to do with law, you go and destroy CCTV cameras. The National Security Coordinator has promised Dr. Addison a few things. And we know that is going to happen because he's a very reasonable man. It is about Ghana. Yes, if Dr. Addison has stolen money, by all means go and collect it. The other day they said Cecilia Dapa has stolen money. In fact, Cecilia Dapa was the only verifiable, so quote and unquote thief that they could find. They assumed all the rest. Cecilia Dapa, there was no assumption. They said there was $1 million in her house. She herself wrote to police and said there's $1 million in my house that has been taken. NDC have been in power since January. Cecilia Dapa is there. She's been going to court prosecuting her matter. Why are they not going to collect the 1 million that they said was for the government? The Cecilia Dapa 1 million, they said it's for government, and she has stolen it. Since NDC came to power, Richard Jakpa, Cecilia Dapa is there. Go and collect the 1 million. Let's see whether it's for government. Go and collect it. You said Cecilia Dapa has stolen 1 million. You ran campaign on that, and you won the election. Cecilia Dapa is in Accra here. 2 days ago, she was in the High Court. She was walking around. She was wearing a pink dress. Everybody saw her. Everybody, until you see, she's walking there. She sat in a car, went home. You said $1 million of Cecilia Dapa's money is stolen money. You are in power. Go to Cecilia Dapa's house and collect the 1 million. Let us see. Or bring Cecilia Dapa before court. Let her answer for the 1 million. Let us see. That is the politics that we run. And that's the politics that destroys everyone. It will destroy MPP. It will destroy NDC. Eventually, it will destroy Ghana. Anyway, Boss, thank you, Thank you for your very reasonable interventions. You're a true policeman. President Mahama, this your Richard Jakpa, he will create problem, oh, boss. He will create problem. I know that you like him, but he's going to create problem. If you like, go and ask Jifa Gomashi what Brigadier Anglo told her about Richard Jakpa. It's your tourism minister. Please ask her what her husband told her about Jakpa. Please, President Mahama, ask her. Mubarak Muntaka, how are you? People were telling you that I've been fighting you. No, I'm not fighting you. I was just concerned about the fugitive that came in. I'm not fighting you. Mubarak Muntaka, I'm not fighting. You know that your man is my friend, pa, so there's no problem. But we have to do the right thing, you see. Now, this is the Richard Jakpa story, and I'm not surprised about the things that Afenyo Markin said had happened. And it justifies why the CCTV cameras would have been tampered with and destroyed. Listen to Alexander Afenyo Markin, the minority leader. Have a listen.
In fact, at the end of their raid, they could not find anything. Unfortunately for the governor, some 10,000 cedis on his bed could not be found. So some of these hungry party foot soldiers that they use, who parade themselves as national security operatives, are after all perhaps not even being paid, and they use this opportunity to steal. The governor's wife's earrings and necklaces were also not traced. They couldn't be found. In other words, those operatives stole these earrings and necklaces.
1 minute to the top of the hour, 10 o'clock. So we are beginning to get a sense of why the CCTV infrastructure was destroyed. Is that also part of the national security? I don't know whether what Afenyo Markin is saying is true or not, but I believe him. I believe him. He's a minority leader, and he went to the house and he met with Dr. Addison. And this is what they do. Now, what are we hearing? We are hearing that there's a long list of persons. Do you have the photograph? Let me come to Shamima Muslim. Let me come to Shamima Muslim. Yes. Let me come to Shamima Muslim. Shamima, you are my sister. How are you? Lovely Shamima. Shamima, I beg you, every morning when you wake up, remember the often quoted statement of Lord Acton, one of the famous jurists of the British parliamentary democracy. Lord Acton said, power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. Your body language on TV3 this morning was not good at all. The pomposity in your body language, I beg you, my sister. You see, when you are in opposition, you can show arrogance and show pomposity, nobody cares. But when you are in government, occupying a sensitive position like the government spokesperson, you are representing the image of the president and the government. Your body language is so important. You can learn from Asedun Ketia. His body language is always good. Your body language this morning on TV3, it wasn't good at all. Pomposity, arrogance, and hey, Shamima, why? 3 months into government, 1, 2, 3 months. Because it's Shamima, I can't say more. Chief Mumin, come and let's rescue our sister. Please come back to Shamima. I'll deal with it. I'm not done with Shamima yet. Chief Mumin, come back. Let's rescue our sister. Chief, Shamima introduced you to me that you are a brilliant young brother and that we should work together. You remember? We came, we spoke. You are such a brilliant guy. I was very disappointed that I didn't see your name in the list of the creative art and diaspora something, Black Star experience. You are the reason why I listened to Joy FM on Saturday, you and Uncle Ken, Chief Woman. Please come and let's rescue our sister. I don't know whether there are verses in the Quran that speak of those things, but I'm sure there are. Please, the arrogance. Shamima Muslim said that the raid on Dr. Addison's house is justified. Government spokesperson. I remember very, very well, one of the reasons why the MP for Bole Bamboy, John Dramani Mahama, became John Dramani Mahama was an incident that occurred in 1999 or the year 2000. Flight Lieutenant Rawlings was reported to have beaten up, no, incident was earlier, 97, 96. Was reported to have beaten up Konkensenaka. John Mahama's response as a member of parliament to condemn the act is when people started observing this NDC John Mahama, that he's a different NDC person. And that's how Totobi Kwachi was able to sprout up John Mahama. Because John Mahama's communication indicated a difference from the regular Agye boy Seka and what's his name? The former interior minister, Odododio MP. It will come, his name will come. Odododio MP was a minister for interior. I remember him. He's a good friend of mine. It will come. Now, John Mahama was different. And that is when people started Ni Okainja Adamafio. That's the name. John Mahama was different from Ni Okainja Adamafio, Ni Agye Boy Sekan, the cadres of the day, what's his name again? Yawa Krisi Sapon. John Mahama was very different from that group of people. So people started looking at John Mahama as, oh, he's a reasonable voice among the NDC cadres. So Shamima, you might have to take a cue from that. Communicating for government, your body language is very important. So this pomposity and arrogance that you displayed on TV3 this morning, I beg you, if you can do something about it, please do something about it. With it. After all, why they are looking for this? She said, hey, I was looking at her. I took my phone and I was looking for Chief Mumin's number. I said, Shamima Muslim Pa is talking like this. 3 months. Let me conclude. Please write it by your office. Lord Acton said, power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. Afenyo responded to her. Let's have a look at what Afenyo said. Now, this is what Afenyo said. Alexander Afenyo on social media says, abusing the rights of political opponents is a fundamental assault on our democracy. Miss Shamima Muslim and Dr. Justice Nsem-Pii should not have been deployed to defend such unlawful actions by the government. Mr. President, you are widely perceived as a moderate. That's the point I was making. This I'm giving you, viewers, the understanding of why John Mahama was perceived as a moderate. Some of us, as news reporters, covered John Mahama on a daily basis. We were required to do so, and we were told to do so by certain people. I've mentioned their names already. We covered John Mahama regularly, and it was refreshing to cover the Bole Bamboy MP, who is an NDC MP, but who is speaking differently. It was so refreshing. And it was these seeds that was used by John Mahama supporters to impose him on Professor Mills in 2008. I say impose in quotes. To impose him on Professor Mills in 2008 to become the running mate. That was John Mahama. I cannot see how a John Mahama government is producing the kind of characterization I saw Shamima Muslim display on TV3 this morning. Hey, what kind of arrogance is this? 3 months. It goes on. He says, abusing the rights of political opponents is a fundamental assault on our democracy. Miss Shamima Muslim and Dr. Justice Nsem-Pii should not have been deployed to defend such unlawful actions by the government. Mr. President, you are widely perceived as a moderate, but these acts of abuse of power by your hawks, which are also defended by your own deputy spokesperson and the deputy attorney general, speaks very negatively of your leadership. Please. I mean, is it not so disheartening that Alexander Afenyo will describe Shamima Muslim as a hawk? I mean, Shamima Muslim. Shamima is not a hawk. Shamima is a reasonable person. Very decent woman, well-educated, well-spoken. She's very well-spoken. But what is happening? 3 months of government. 1, 2, 3 months. 3 months, pe. Shamima, you should be calling Kweku Bako. You should be calling Kwesi Pratt. Calling them. Talk to them. Engage with them. Even if you like, call Benefson. Engage with them. Engage with them. They will help you. Me, you don't call me. They will say I'm MPP, so it's fine. You call Kweku Bako. Call Kwesi Pratt and call Benefs. Engage with them. Because what I saw you doing on TV3 today, I was frightened. I wanted to first talk about it as a family matter. You know what I mean. But I needed to come and say it here so that if you don't hear me, you will still hear me. I'll leave it there. Okay. Now, Richard Jakpa has what have they put here? Now, yes, important. As Good Evening Ghana, we always have to state the position on the law. So we are just going to now educate. This is the second part of the video, my dear. We're just going to educate people on what the law is and how people can be arrested, how their homes can be raided, and all of that. So here we go. Article 18 of the Republican Constitution, protection of privacy of home and other property. 18.1. Every person has the right to own property, either alone or in association with others. 18.2. No person shall be subjected to interference with the privacy of his home, property, correspondence, or communication, except in accordance with law, and as may be necessary in a free and democratic society for public safety or economic well-being of the country, for the protection of health or morals, for the prevention of disorder or crime, or for the protection of the rights or freedoms of others. So while the Constitution gives a protection in Article 1 and in a Clause 1 of Article 18, in Clause 2 of Article 18, the law gives the exceptions, the exemptions, if you like, the exemptions of how this protection can be, if you like, compromised. It says, where, except in accordance with law. So the first thing that must be done to compromise Article 18 Clause 1 is that there has to be a lawful entry. That lawful entry is usually determined by the warrant. Now, you don't go into a man's house with a warrant and then go and destroy the CCTV camera. That's his personal property. Okay. Did I finish with that? Let me quite finish with that. So the law, and then it says, as may be necessary in a free and democratic society for public safety or economic well-being for the country, etc., etc. Then there's another one. Section 88 of Act 30. Act 30 is the Criminal Procedure Act. You know that in Ghana, we have a criminal code. That's Act 29. We have a Criminal Procedure Act, Act 30. Act 29 is a substantive law on crime. Act 30 is the procedure. So, for instance, Act 29 will show you how to describe the ingredients of the offense of stealing, for instance. And Act 30 will show you the procedure by which you prosecute stealing. So that's Act 29 and 30 are always read together, always go together. For many young lawyers and students, they put it together in one book. So you have Criminal Procedure Code, Criminal Code, and then you put it together. So Act 30 is the criminal procedure. All right. Section 88 thereof says, when such warrant may be issued by and proceedings thereunder. 1. A district magistrate who is satisfied by evidence upon oath that there is reasonable ground for believing that there is in any building, vessel, carriage, box, receptacle, or place, anything upon or in respect of which any offense has been seen or is suspected to have been committed, for which according to any law for the time being is in force, the offender may be arrested without warrant, or anything which there is reasonable ground for believing will afford evidence as to the commission of any such offense, or anything which there is reasonable ground for believing is intended to be used for the purpose of committing an offense against the person, for which, according to any law for the time being in force, the offender may be arrested without warrant. May at any time issue a warrant. This is the judge. The judge may at any time issue a warrant under his hand, authorizing any constable to search any building, vessel, carriage, box, receptacle, or place for any such thing, and to seize and carry it before the magistrate issuing the warrant, or some other magistrates to be by him dealt with according to the law. This is quite long. Anyway, majority leader apologized for it. Dr. Addison's house, we don't know whether there was a warrant. We suspect there wasn't, because nobody will go to a house with a warrant and then go and destroy the CCTV cameras. Now let's get to the list of arrest him in the morning. Gabi Ochedaku is on the list. Gabi Ochedaku is also on the list. What has he done? I don't know. They said that they have to do these things very quickly and then they can shut the NPP people up, because they are noticing that the thing is not as easy as it was thought. So difficulties may be coming. Today, John Japapo was announcing something. If you don't do this, this will happen. If you do, he started throwing the panic buttons. But it's okay. We are all Ghanaians who support the government. That's our work, to support the government to work. But I think they've seen that there's some issues going on. So they have to divert attention by hurriedly arrest at something. Godfrey Dami is very much on the list. And Godfrey Dami and Paul Adomochi are not just on, they are on the list of Richard Jakpa. for Paul Adomoche's commentary during the trial, during which Richard Jakpa himself sent me threatening texts, which I showed here. At that time, he was in opposition. He sent, "I'll kill you. You'll see what I'll do to you." I showed it here. I still have on my phone. I've just submitted it to the authorities, and I'm going to make a formal complaint that he having become a national security director. This is his record with me. We are going to do that. There's a lot we are going to do, so there's plenty of time. RTI is going to come. Shraj will be at Shraj every day. It's all going to come. We are formulating it. In Kitten is going to come. Some people have house at Airport Hills. Shraj, they will have to come. Some people this RTI. Or my neighbor Amma sent me text the other day. We were engaging on text. I told him that, "Doc, I'm sending you an RTI in Adomoche." Godfredame was trying him. Paul Adomoche was the media person who was backing the trial. So he has to go to Richard Godfredame's house and go and read it. And there will be CCTV cameras there. And he will destroy it. And then they said that I think they are starting from, so I was told that Friday night don't sleep in your house, because they will come to your house on Saturday morning and then they will say 48 hours and they will keep you till Monday. And so